I'm Abiola Jackson. This is the Entertainment News and Celebrity Gossip TV for Tuesday, April the 29th. In entertainment news, well, ESPN didn't take that long to go forward and look for their top replacement for Shannon Sharpe. They're not wasting any time because according to the Sun, the Sun.com, uh, there's a favorite that is emerging um, to replace Shannon Sharpe, so that they can push him aside over this particular scandal. Um, so ESPN not wasting time. A lot of rumblings behind closed doors. Um, so the replacement that's the word is the replacement that is on top of the list that's gonna replace Stephen A. Smith. I mean, sorry, that's gonna replace Shannon Sharpe. Excuse me, it's gonna replace Shannon Sharpe. Uh, don't look any further than Jason Kelsey. That's right, Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey's brother. He's the top dog to replace Shannon Sharpe. Well, they say that he's very versed in a lot of sports. He knows the sports pretty well. Very versed. Very he's great at debates. Very good at debates. Knows his stuff, and he would fit very well with Stephen A. Smith. So that that's what the ESPN executives believe and think that this is a good replacement. Um, like I said, he's a very good debater. Knows his sports inside out, and very knowledgeable about the about what he's doing. So they got Jason Kelsey is the main guy to take over, and see see it's a perfect fit for Stephen A. Smith, perfect fit for the both of them. Well, if they're in terms of debating and in terms of different sports, they say it's a good. This is a good added replacement, or this is a good replacement for Shannon Sharpe. Now we go from that to there have been rumblings behind the scenes. Now we mentioned the rumblings behind the scenes earlier. So in regards to that, a few of the ESPN employees they were they were feeling a certain way, and they were very um, bothered by the Shannon Sharpe allegations, and very disappointed to say the least. Um, a few of the ESPN employees that were shook and bothered by this whole Shannon Sharpe ordeal. Monica Monica McNutt. Monica McNutt. That hit her pretty hard. The whole situation. Dan Alorski. He's another one that was bothered by this. And Molly Querim. She's another person that was bothered by this. So those three are the to name a few that have been disturbed and bothered by the whole Shannon Sharpe scandal and the whole ordeal. Um, so it just gives you an idea about the tension that's taking place behind closed doors. A lot of tension, a lot of a lot of people uncomfortable, a lot of uncomfortability around the ESPN offices. So I mean, it's not an easy it's not definitely not an easy time if you're working in that environment. I would go as far. I would say it's very toxic, a very toxic environment. I would put it that way. Uh, so those are the few ESPN staffers that we mentioned that were bothered by this. So now we go from that um, to this. So with all that culminating, it goes to this now. Check this one out, guys. This is courtesy of the Sun. Everything's courtesy of the Sun.com. So shout out to the Sun.com. Fair use, fair use, fair use. So all that, and we're getting towards this. Shannon Sharpe's $1 million podcast deal reveals that the star gambled with his career by releasing raunchy texts. So basically, all those raunchy texts to a woman that's half his age, pretty much sabotaged whatever deal he had in the works. Remember, he had deals in the works for quite some time. This is supposed to be happening. He had a new deal, and all those deals that he had were on the table. So that's Sharpe's new deal with Volume, the network owned by Fox anchor Colin Cowherd, that recently expired. I guess they're supposed to be renewing a new deal. And I guess, obviously, Colin Cowherd's not going to be connecting himself or attaching himself to those deals with Shannon Sharpe. So that's gone. That's pretty much dead. That's dead. That actually come as no surprise. That's pretty much that's not going to happen. So basically the podcast deals are off the table. The podcast deals are off the table. They're completely gone. Says a source. Shannon's reputation ruined everything. Getting all that money is no longer a reality. So the insider says the revelations of Sharpe's relationship with a much younger woman, basically, like I mentioned earlier, sabotaged and killed any remaining potential investors who wanted to invest in Nightcap and the Shay Shay podcast. So the insider says, I can't see anyone wanting to work with him now, the source continued, especially women. He's the name on it. So basically, so that's basically what that's the situation with Shannon Sharpe. One source said he bleeped everything up. It's pathetic. These are anonymous sources that's the insider with anonymous sources from the ESPN headquarters. So you're hearing it already. Another person says the situation is a complete disaster. The source said people are shocked. It likely damaged his reputation and career. That's irreparably damaged. Another ESPN employee stating that the workplace atmosphere is unbearable. It's like a war zone. Many were discussed by Shannon Sharpe. Like we mentioned, the three notables that we talked about: Monica McNutt, Dan Orlovsky, Molly McCarron. All of them are disgusted and basically shook by all of this. So they look at him now. He's labeled as, according to the insider, I mentioned it earlier, they label him as toxic. Shannon Sharpe is toxic. The environment's toxic, as I mentioned. The trust is broken. People would have complained to management or even resigned if he didn't step down. So basically, if upper management at ESPN didn't do anything and they let him sit around to see how the situation would play out, they would have resigned. They would have complained to management or they would have resigned. So it looks like Shannon Sharpe did everybody a favor by just stepping down. Did everybody a favor by just stepping down. Another person says from the ESPN source, from the ESPN insider, can't believe he gambled his career by being with a 20-year-old girl. He bleeped everything. It's pathetic. So that's the situation. It's pretty disturbing. And all those sponsors, if you look at Nightcap, all the sponsors are gone. The most notable sponsor The most notable one that's not there anymore is DraftKings. DraftKings is no longer there. That's the most notable sponsor that's gone, and all the other sponsors are gone too. They're all gone. If you look at Nightcap, they're not. They don't. They're not. They're basically disassociating themselves from Shannon Sharpe. So so I mean, this is no surprise. We're not surprised by this at all. It's only basically. It's just basically a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, we're not surprised. It's only a matter of time before this is going to happen. So this is no surprise to anybody. It's only a matter of time. Basically, the writing was on the wall for Shannon Sharpe in regards to those podcast deals and the sponsors continuing to deal with them. But now they've all backed out, as you know. So it's not surprising. It's not surprising at all. And like I said, it looks like from the reports and you can go look this up. It's thesun.com. thesun.com. It's there. And from the reports, it looks like Shannon Sharpe ain't gonna be back at ESPN ever again. He says he's coming back for the NFL preseason. By the time the NFL preseason comes around, Jason Kelce's has already taken his spot. Jason Kelce will take his spot by the time the NFL preseason starts. He's going to take his spot. He's going to take his spot. So all that wishful thinking that Shannon Sharpe was hoping that was going to transpire for him to come back, it's not happening. ESPN has moved on, and they didn't waste time. They did not waste time. Again, hit the like and subscribe button. More entertainment news, celebrity gossip TV. It just goes to show you the lesson learned. You don't fumble. You don't fumble the bag and do something stupid to jeopardize your opportunity to jeopardize your opportunity for mega deals, podcast deals, sponsored deals. You don't throw all that away by doing something stupid that he did. You don't do that. And that's the lesson that's the lesson to be learned here. That's the lesson to be learned. You don't do that kind of stuff. You never do that kind of stuff. See? Now he's paying the price. And even when he got there, even when he got to ESPN, people the employees were rubbing him the wrong way anyways. All the creepy stuff he was doing was a little too excessive and too much. All the creepy stuff that he was doing. I did a video on that. I did a video on that earlier. I think a week or two ago. On the decline of Shannon Sharpe. I did a video on that, saying the majority of the ESPN employees, they looked at him as creepy, doing too much behind the scenes, too much, being too extra, too much, and it was getting on their nerves. It made them feel uncomfortable. See? Now you have other ESPN employees anonymously speaking out on this. So, I mean, it's no surprise. From the time he was there until this big scandal was rocked, this big scandal that rocked the sports world and rocked the ESPN headquarters. Yeah, this is what he was, this is doing a lot of creepy stuff behind the scenes. As the anonymous ESPN employees deem it and call it, before all this stuff happened. So again, hit the like and subscribe button. More entertainment news, celebrity gossip TV. I have nothing else to say about this. Nothing else to say. Nothing else to say. Just gotta prioritize your money and prioritize securing the bag when you have a chance to secure the bag, and don't do any foolishness. That's the lesson to be learned. Until next time, peace out.